Hello Sunshine Squad, and welcome to another video. So today I want to talk about my 4-burner stove and the reason why I have my 4-burner stove in my van. A lot of people were amazed when I showed my van at the RTR open house van tour, and a lot of people had a lot of questions about my van, and one of the most popular questions were my stove in my van. One man even said, "Do you really need a 4-burner stove?" And I'm like, I am not new to this. I'm true to this. This is not my first rodeo. This is my second van build, and I had a 4-burner stove in my first van build. And if it ain't broke, why fix it? I love to cook, you guys. I love to be able to eat healthy home cooked meals while I am on the road. And even if some of the meals aren't all that healthy, I still like to prepare my own food, you guys. And I try not to eat that much fast food. And for all of us, when we're not cooking, then we're going to tend to eat whatever we have access to. That is one reason why I have 900 watts of solar on the top of my van, so I can keep my refrigerator going. And that is why I have a 4-burner stove, so that I can prepare and cook my own meals. I can go to the store like regular people do in home life. I can make groceries, and I can come back to my home, which is my van, and I can prepare home cooked meals on the daily, or I could food prep for the week, or I can food so I can have it to my availability whenever I want to eat. So that is one reason why I love having a 4-burner stove in my van. It also allows me to be able to take care of myself better. I think that's one thing that nomads lack in van life, in RV life, in car life, in bus life, and in just whatever kind of vehicle that you're living in. I think that's one thing we lack, which is taking care of ourselves and eating adequately, properly, to maintain health for ourselves. And that is one reason why I can my own foods as well. That was another major question that people asked when they toured my van. They seen the canned meat in the back, and they was like, "Oh my goodness, what is that?" And I explained to them that that is canned meat. A lot of people can fruits and vegetables. I love being able to can my own meats, because the meat is the staple to your food. And whatever meal you're going to cook, if you eat meat and you're not a vegetarian, then meat is the main item for the food, and meat takes up the bulk in your refrigerator. So if you can your own foods, you don't have to worry about having those foods in the refrigerator, in the freezer. They're already cooked, they're already prepared, and they're already stored away, and they're gonna cut your meal time in half. So whatever, actually more than half, because what takes the most time to cook is your meat. If your meat is already prepared, if your meat is already cooked, all you have to do is warm it up and cook your sides. You can easily just eat a salad with your sides, and that way you don't have to cook anything. So that is one reason why I must have a 4-burner stove in each and every build that I do for myself. That is my preference. Now, if you are not keen on eating healthy, if you're not keen on cooking home cooked meals, if you're not keen on canning your own foods, then maybe you can go with a 2-burner stove. But for me, I must have a 4-burner stove to be able to prepare a whole meal within 30 minutes. Because I have a 4-burner stove, I don't have to cook one thing, alternate the burner, take it off the burner. I can cook everything at one time. If I'm cooking breakfast, I can cook my bacon, I can cook my eggs. If I don't have an oven, but I do know how to cook biscuits on top of a stove. I can be cooking my grits and my bacon all at the same time, my oatmeal, my bacon, and whatever else I want to prepare. I can do it all at the same time. Also, my 4-burner stove, or my stove in general, doubles as a heat source. A lot of people ask, well, how do you stay warm in the wintertime? Duh, my stove. I don't have to worry about having a separate heat source in my van because I have a stove. Also, prepping my own food allows me to be healthier. As you just seen, I saved the bacon grease from the bacon that I just cooked, and now I cook everything in my bacon grease. I don't have to buy canola oil. I don't have to buy saturated fat. I have a natural oil that came from something that I already paid for, and that is coming from my bacon. So I cook everything in my bacon grease. I fry my eggs in my bacon grease. I cook my beef patties in my bacon grease. I saute my onions in the bacon grease. I cook everything with the bacon grease, you guys. I couldn't do all this if I didn't have a stove. So I just wanted to share that information with you guys, because a lot of people are asking me, why do you have a 4-burner stove? Ooh, you have a stove in your van. Yes, I have a stove in my van because I cook and because I like to eat. I like home cooked meals. I prefer eating home cooked meals over fast food. I prefer food prepping. I prefer canning my own meats. And this makes everything for me in van life so convenient. And I can sit out in a place that I'm camped at for a week, 2 weeks, even up to a month, depending on how much canned food I have with me. And I can just stop by the store before I go to my campsite and get some fresh fruits and vegetables or salads, depending on what diet I'm on. If you guys do not know, I did do the carnivore diet for about a year and a half, and I really love the carnivore diet. I'm trying to make my way back to the carnivore diet. So the more meat that I have prepped, or the more meat I have in my freezer or my refrigerator, the longer I can go before I go to the store. And van life is just not about going to a beautiful place, sitting out, relaxing and chilling. It's also about taking care of yourself. I want us to focus more on taking care of ourselves and being well-rounded, not just getting out and seeing sights, not just breathing in the fresh air, but our health is our wealth. Eating properly, taking our vitamins and our herbs, going for a walk, enjoying the scenery, breathing in the fresh air, and also being spiritually connected to God and our surroundings. So I hope that this video encouraged you. If you are a nomad, or if you're in home life and you're not taking the time to eat healthy, prepare healthy foods. And I'm not saying every single meal that you prepare is going to be a healthy meal, but because you eat healthy and clean the majority of the time, when you do decide to take a snack, I've been craving sweets lately. When you do decide to take a snack, eat some chips, eat some cookies, eat some ice cream. I had some Munch and Crunch the other day. When you do decide to do those things, you don't have to worry about those things impacting you and affecting you in a negative way, because you're not eating that way all the time. You are learning balance, and it's okay to crave sweets. It's okay to crave candy and cookie, but that's not the majority of your diet. And because you are going to focus on eating healthier in home life or van life, then you can give yourself grace when it comes to the times when you want to eat something that is a little bit more tempting and a little bit more gratifying to you. But the longer that you eat, or the more that you eat healthier foods, you will find that your body stops craving for those sweets, especially on the carnivore diet. That is one benefit to the carnivore diet. Once you are on a carnivore diet properly, you're going to stop craving those sweets. You're going to stop craving things that are unhealthy for you, the starches and all of that. But even if you're still going to eat those things, eating the majority of your food, home cooked meals, is going to take away the unhealthiness of it all. So I just want to encourage you guys in that today. Start cooking your own meals, start preparing your own foods, whether you're in home life or van life. And if you're considering doing a van bill, whether it be a 1-burner stove or a 2-burner stove or a 4-burner stove, I highly suggest that you put propane in your vehicle, so that way you will be able to cook and you will have 2 sources of energy and 2 sources to be able to stay warm in the winter time. Because if you're in a cold environment and you have solar on the top of your van, that is not going to provide all of the adequacy that you're going to need to be able to stay warm. So I don't have to worry about staying warm in the wintertime because I have a 4-burner stove. And usually in the wintertime, what I do is when I'm food prepping and when I'm cooking, I will usually do that around the time that I am cold. So usually in the daytime, I will cook and food prep, and at nighttime I'm going to be under my blankets. If you have an adequate amount of blankets, you do not have to worry about being cold. I have been doing van life for 5 years in June, and I haven't killed myself with the propane. Do your own research, but I've never put a hole in my van for the propane to go out of. I always put my propane by the back door, and I feel like that seal on the back door is not all the way seal proof, and there is air coming in, and there will be able to be a proper ventilation as well for propane. So, but do your own research and do what you're comfortable with. I might put a little hole in the bottom of my van in the future where I do have my propane tank, but for now I don't have that, and I didn't have that in Treasure, and I did burn my propane stove all night long and even go to sleep with it when I was in Treasure when that hard freeze hit in Texas. So if you guys have any questions, any comments about cooking in your van, about how to be able to eat more home cooked meals in your van, leave those comments in the comment bar below. And if you have any suggestions, eating canned food, eating canned meat, eating food out the can that you buy in the store is still more healthier than always eating fast food. And that fast food makes you constipated as well, you guys, and you will not be having regular bowel movements. Having regular bowel movements also means that you're healthy. People that don't have regular bowel movements are not healthy. Constipation is not a part of a healthy diet. That's a telltale sign that you're not healthy if you are not going to the bathroom on a regular basis. And somebody left a comment on my channel talking about liver. Ew, liver is so good for you. I've been eating liver since I was a child. Everybody has always complimented me on my complexion and my skin, and I can guarantee you that eating liver and okra and all of those good things as a child contributed to that. So again, I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Bye now.